Hey everyone, we're on that road to WrestleMania and we're going through that Elimination Chamber and you know I'm ready. What the?
You little good!
Oh, it's always sunny in WWE, ladies and gentlemen. This is your in-ring rundown, and I am that NAKK Double G. Welcome to the City of Brotherly Love, hosting one of the most brutal events of the year, the Elimination Chamber. The event where Vince McMahon lures each superstar one by one into a small chamber-like room, playing nothing but reruns of the Katie Vick angle. Whoever lasts the longest wins the match later on.
Well, Philly's about to get the smoke indeed.
If you mean the leftover smoke that seeped out of each and every WWE fan's ears that saw Super Showdown last week, then yes, I agree. This week on Powerpuff Cenas, the first match of the night is brought to you by the letter Y. As in, why are the Viking Raiders on the kickoff show again? Why are Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder still a tag team? And why does their theme song sound like background menu music for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater? Luckily for us, the Viking Raiders set the difficulty to the only one that Zack Ryder and Hawkins have available, beginner mode, quickly picking up the win here tonight with the grease and body hair experience. We're then joined by WWE's panel of experts. Jonathan Coachman, the expert on being able to turn up his racism from 0 to 60 at a moment's notice. Peter Rosenberg, the expert on making me wonder if he had taken Sam Roberts' job. Charlie Caruso, the expert on making Zero Suit Samus look better than ever. And that guy. What? I said panel of experts. The coach then sums up all of WWE's philosophy in about one sentence.
There are some matches that don't need a whole lot of describing. This is one.
Minion Charlotte is backstage trying to get an interview with Zelina Vega and the returning Andrade, but makes the mistake of asking what would happen if Andrade and Angel Garza did the fusion dance.
And I'm sorry, but that collision of Mexican superstardom was just too much.
Once again, just like with Rey Mysterio back at Survivor Series, just as Andrade tries to call out Humberto, the government entity known as ICE begins listening in on another Latino superstar.
I hope you're smart enough to quit tonight.
Absolutely despicable. The main card begins with the Yes movement in full effect with Daniel, Daniel. Here to take on his damn near doppelganger and Drew Gulak, who claims he's seen all the holes in Daniel Bryan's game recently. When in reality, DB purposely told WWE that he wanted to spend time in storylines that show off people who haven't gotten proper display yet. Aw, that's just so sweet. Both men chain wrestle back and forth in the early goings of this match, just as you'd expect from two gifted technical artists. But what you didn't expect is to see them showing off this Kama Sutra pose to show Breed what Daniel Bryan wants to try on later on tonight. Gulak's skills are so impressive that he forced DB to roll out to the outside to think about things for a moment, causing Cole to express when's the last time he saw Daniel Bryan having to do something like that. Right before he's cut off by Corey Graves talking about some random shit and then immediately asking Cole the exact same question. Both men get stuck at the top rope trying to suplex one another while the new ref Adam Sandler looks on in concern.
Bryan looking to fight back now.
Daniel. What was that? Frustrated with being unable to put him down, Gulak decides that the best course of action is to literally try and kill him with a German suplex on the back of his neck. But somehow the Yes movement is so strong that it allows him to survive this brutality, and come back with a clothesline so powerful that Michael Cole is forced to call out his favorite Yu-Gi-Oh monster in excitement.
Trying to rally back in this matchup, running on a alone.
DB manages to reverse the Dragon Sleeper into a vicious-looking Yes lock, causing Drew to pass out and Bryan to secure the win. Seriously, man, that German suplex. The yummiest of all, Caleb Braxton, is backstage interviewing the glorious Ziggles about nothing important. But if you pay close attention, you'll see a secret message displayed in the background.
Good luck! We don't
Oh, hey folks, how you doing? I'm just a simple man, but I can't help but notice this is, I don't know, maybe the 7th fucking time that Humberto was the challenge for the US title since September. 3 with AJ, 4 with Humberto. Now I'm just a simple man, but... Luckily for us, we all have Jerry Lawler here to commentate on this match and show us that he's been working on his racism.
Rio getting pounded like a piñata now.
A piñata, huh? Out of all things. I wonder what made you choose that. Humberto does a lot of flipping shit like a Hurricane Rana off the top rope. But unfortunately for him, Zelina's desire to see nothing but Falcon knees is just too powerful, allowing Andrade to take control. Taking control during a devastating series of the most devastating move of all time, the roll-up. Winning. Devastatingly. We then cut backstage to where Charlie and AJ are caught talking shit about Kevin Dunn.
And let's think about this guy. He has no friends. He locks himself in a dark room. He listens to really sad music.
It's chamber time, ladies and more ladies, as the current tag team champions Miz and Morrison defend their belts in a seemingly unwinnable situation. As Rude and Ziggler make their way down to the ring, Michael Cole tells us all what his best friend said after his first trip to Saudi Arabia.
He told me, never, ever again.
I'm not really sure what Psychosis is doing here, but he seems to be getting into this pod. Yes, he's definitely competing. You can tell that the New Day are at max power here tonight, both from Big E's promo entrance, as well as Kofi beginning the match by just tripping off the top rope and almost getting a 3 count on Jey Uso. And because the WWE is so very strict about its rules, the Lucha Garage Sale comes out slightly after about 3 minutes instead of waiting for the full 5. Seriously, it was like 3:22 or something. Lindsay Dorado gets thrown into the chains, hanging by one leg in a painful fashion, before somehow just ignoring the concept of pain and springing to the top of the pod. For some reason, this causes everyone to freak out immediately and try to get him down because it's just not very safe up there. The champs themselves, Mizzy and Maury, come out and start dominating the rest of the team, staying in the middle and maintaining stage control. And for some reason, while this is going on, Michael Cole's addiction to Harvest Moon just can't help but seep through.
Dorado planted.
Things get heavy as the Prime Machinery enters the ring ready to squash all the other teams, and Michael Cole seriously just can't break his addiction to Harvest Moon.
Oh, and Dorado! He was planted.
They managed to compact everyone into the middle of the ring where Spider-Man reveals it was him all along, hanging from the ceiling and dropping down onto nearly everyone. The hashtag oversized loads, seriously what the fuck, eliminates the Lucha House Party right before Rude and Ziggler gang up on Otis against the chain-linked wall. But what they didn't take into consideration is that Otis is an avid lover of Fleetwood Mac. Otis knows in this moment that if Mandy doesn't love him now, she will never love him again. Rushing in a blind rage towards Ziggler and plowing through the plexiglass door that no one definitely warned the Spanish announce table about. I will honestly bet money that no one warned them at all. Tucker shows his love for Otis in the only way he knows how, prime WWE fashion, by simply yelling at him over and over to just get up. He then gets his own rage boost following these events, but is quickly put to rest by the glorious Rude, right before they're immediately hit with everyone else's finishers and removed from the match. Kofi Kingston decides to use a crossbody on literally no one in the middle of the ring and hits the ground hard, allowing the Miz and Morrison to scurry in like rats and pin him right away. It's down to the Usos and the Friday Night Dynamites in the end of this chamber match, and it's a precarious situation, you see, not when Jay is caught in the figure 4, but when Michael Cole finally snaps on Corey Graves.
You think if the Usos win this, they'll give Miz and Morrison a rematch?
No.
Well, I mean, this is unfair that Miz and Morrison are in this situation to begin with.
Well, if they win it, then you won't be crying anymore, will you?
About literally 30 seconds later, Miz and Morrison pick up the win with, yeah, you guessed it, the roll-up. Well, I guess technically it was a schoolboy off the ropes plus a roll-up, so it's a little better? The next match is Anything Goes with AJ versus Alistair. About that, AJ has no shame admitting that he'll use everything, meaning the OC, and everyone, meaning the OC, to his advantage. And surprisingly, he does hold an advantage in the beginning of this match, focusing on Alistair's legs repeatedly with a bunch of strikes and even a kendo stick.
I don't feel very comfortable with Aleister Black this close to it.
This coming from a man who constantly claimed just a few weeks ago how much he loved his entrance every time he appeared. All I ask is for some consistency. Surprisingly, without much help, AJ manages to brutalize the Black One throughout this match, catching him in the calf crusher in an attempt to destroy his leg. But after he escapes by literally just shoving it into AJ's face, the uppers that the OC took earlier finally kick in, rushing into the ring and overwhelming him quickly. All seems lost until the lights go out and the original Dark One emerges, the Undertaker, appearing instantly in the middle of the ring, somehow already with a grip around the OC's neck, shocking them like Raiden's grab. He tosses them aside just to make sure he has enough time to give AJ another terrible chokeslam, doing this dirty deed and teleporting away, allowing Alistair to take advantage and hit AJ with probably one of the most brutal black masses that we've seen. It's a couple of stoners versus the head coach at Bible Camp for the Raw Tag Team Championships in this next match. But for some reason, before we can get to the action, Tom Phillips can't seem to stop mixing up his job with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Marathon that he's been watching all week.
You saw the way he obliterated Murphy on Raw.
Montez Ford enters the match and does some delayed physics that don't make sense in this plane of existence before the ref's attention is taken by Seth. This allows the AOP to get involved, but also immediately summons the Viking Raiders the moment they notice 2 other players had joined the server. They manage to coax the AOP into the backstage for a nice brawl in literally about 12 seconds. Like seriously, I looked away and they were gone. Near the end of the match, the fatigued Murphy and Ford struggle to not be suplexed on the top of the rope for about 30 seconds straight, before we're given a lovely display of the same over-choreographed move that we've only seen 328,000 times. Then all of a sudden, the most interesting spot of the match happens. Kevin Owens appears down the stairs with some popcorn. Sweet buttery goodness. He throws some corn in the face of the Messiah mere seconds before he's run over by a bus, allowing the Street Profits to kill Buddy Murphy on the outside and then the inside of the ring and retain their titles. After the match, KO stuns Seth into the after afterlife so we can have a brief father and son talk. Oh boy, are you ready for a match that had about as much planning as it took me to write this line? Naturally, I'm speaking about the Intercontinental Championship being defended in a 1 vs 3 handicap match. The three being Shinsuke, Cesaro, and Sammy versus a man who was absolutely ready to devour Greg Hamilton.
For the Intercontinental Championship! In this match, the Superstar.
Before the match begins, though, we head backstage where Sami Zayn is being interviewed by Caleb Braxton, claiming that after his year of training, his evasion stat is just so high that Braun will never be able to get him with his beautiful hands.
And the Hindi team of Obey Katawani and
What? What is this?
You're just doing good and stable.
These three men combine their power to take down the monster among men bit by bit in an impressive fashion, landing a triple team move suplex, Halula combo kick, and then it's over? Sami picks up the clean win over Braun 1 month before WrestleMania, and am I pissed off? I mean, I think I am. I mean, yeah, this could have been better, right? I think, yeah, I'm pissed off. It's the main event of the night, the Women's Elimination Chamber match. A match where literally no one but Shayna Baszler has enough story or momentum to make sense. The first entrant of the night is Asuka, Jerry's favorite catalyst to show off his new progressive attitude.
He is locked inside her pod. Konnichiwa.
He may still have some work to do. She is then joined by Grandpappy's favorite granddaughter, a new gimmick known as Blonde Leather, a hungry animal, and two women I believe may have fought over a table last year. I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, he has it cinched in deep. Wait a minute. Trying to use the table to her advantage.
Oh yeah, I love that clip. Liv Morgan does her best Chucky laugh impressions as both Ruby and Natty battle on the outside in front of her. And luckily for WWE, they actually decided to follow rules and wait the allotted 5 minutes before Sarah Logan escapes her pod and gives this poor cat a concussion. To my surprise, Shayna Baszler comes out next and then begins to sing this amazing song. When Shayna comes out, Sarah will tap, Ruby will tap, Natty will tap. When Shayna comes out, Liv Morgan will snap, while Asuka yells. Pretty much another full 5 minutes later, Asuka is finally released from her pod. But unfortunately for her, she injured her wrist over the weekend at a Street Fighter tournament, being taken advantage by Shayna, setting her up with the same 3-button combo as the others and putting the Empress to sleep.
I wonder if Vince is impressed yet.
Well, that's it for this week's rundown. I want to thank you all for watching. Leave a like and a comment for a brosev if you just so happen to be feeling it. It just so happens to be my birthday today, so that would be a nice gift. You know how it goes. 100K someday. Tune in next week where I try to make an episode without lamenting the fact that I'm already 32. And of course, a shout out to all my patrons. I hope you're all ready for the super secret trip that I have all planned for you and us to go to Corona Mania. The fun will be contagious. This has been Man from Earth with all the girth. We're 35 episodes deep, ladies and gentlemen. Be the character you know you're worth. I'm fucking old. Right before Rude and Ziggler getting DB manages both men get stuck at the top rope trying to suplex one another while the new ref Adam Sandler looks on and worried. Pretty much another full 5 minutes later, Asuka. God damn it. But what you didn't expect is to... I can't say it. Just as Andrade tries to call out...